You know, I was just going through a lot of my old stuff and came across this reel. This is an old Ambassador 5000. It was manufactured in February of 1972. This was my grandfather's. And I remember the day he brought this home. It was just the shiniest, nicest fishing reel I'd ever seen. And it's funny how objects just spawn memories. And I had a really interesting memory when I pulled this out of the box today. And it was of one of the coolest old guys that I've probably ever met in my life. His name was Mr. Brooks. And Mr. Brooks, we were in Upper Peninsula, Michigan, at a place called Muskellunge Lake. I don't know, it's maybe a half mile over a hill from Lake Superior, up I believe by Newberry. And I was 8 or 9 years old at the time, and we would go there and we'd go fishing. I was just a little kid, skinny, and so anyway, I met this guy named Mr. Brooks. And I remember the first time I saw him, we were sitting down to breakfast and the mist was just coming up off the lake. And out of the fog walks this guy. He was this old guy. And I don't know, he looked like something from a Charlton Heston movie or something. He was wearing waders and a vest, and he was carrying a fly rod. Now, I had a fly rod too. I had started fly fishing about a year prior. And I wanted to go fishing, and my grandparents said, yeah, go ahead. He's okay, that's Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks he was retired. He had been and did some kind of auto assembly for Pontiac. And he retired to the Muskellunge Lake area. And every morning he would come out and he would go fishing. He was a smallmouth fisherman. And so I went down and I started talking to him, and I started fly fishing with him, and he introduced me to this new, really awesome fishing technique with a fly rod. And we just put really long steel leaders on the end of the line, and it was heavy enough to carry the line out. Well, today they actually market that and they call it Skagit casting. So he taught me Skagit casting way before I knew what it was called, or I think anybody knew what it was called. And but I remember every year that we went to Michigan, Mr. Brooks was there. And he was just the coolest old guy. All the stories that he shared with me, and the different fishing lessons, and the stories of the fish that he caught, and probably some of the stories that were a little bit maybe fabricated. You know how it is with fishermen, and stories of the fish that got away. But I remember using those same techniques that he taught me year after year after year. And one year when we went back, Mr. Brooks had passed on, and I was pretty sad because the man meant a lot to me. He was just the coolest old guy. He had the most colorful stories, and he was just I don't even know how to describe it. He was just a very colorful character, and he was really cool. So, even today, here I am, I'm almost 62 years old, and I'm sitting here thinking about and talking about Mr. Brooks, who I met when I was a little kid. And so anyway, I just wanted to share that story with you. And, just think about it. When you think about just simple objects, the memories that those bring out, or a song that you hear on the radio that maybe brings you back to your teenage years. It's really, I just find it interesting. So that's all I've got for you today. I just wanted to share that. So thank you all for joining. And share in the comments maybe an interesting story about your youth, or maybe a memory or something like that. I'd love to read them. So God bless you all. Stay safe.